all your stuff. What can figure it out? That's how it chooses you.
Hey, that's Claire Patton right there. What?
Oh, hey, Teresa Sparks.
Hi.
This is It Chooses You, a Smidgen edition.
Smidge-ish. It's a little bite of pop culture from people who don't review pop culture, except things we like.
You know what? I consider us pop culture experts because we spend a lot of time watching stuff.
That's true.
Consuming media.
But we consume a lot of media that's no longer popular, I think is what we've discovered. Because I think the best example is when you brought us The Mole, which was on literally 20 years ago.
Hey, it holds up. It's a classic. It's now proven itself to be a classic.
We are reviewers of culture, not necessarily pop culture.
All right. That's a good point. Pop would imply some sort of relevance. And
I mean, we're nothing if not irrelevant.
that's right. We have a new tagline.
Mm-hmm. Nothing if not irrelevant. Yep, that's perfect.
We're today going to tell you about another classic.
Yes.
We're going to love on Great British Bake Off.
I mean, I've missed it so much, and I didn't know how much I missed it until it came back. And then I was like, baby, where you been?
Exactly.
I need to watch some people with very clear skin mix flour, sugar, and butter together. That's what I need to do today.
So we are on Netflix. It's collection 9 of Great British Bake Off. Great British Baking Show, however you want to say it. I believe that we're actually officially, from the BBC side of things, on series 12.
But I am curious about the 3 missing seasons. Like, there are 3 full seasons that America's apparently not allowed to see. And now I need to know what happens in them.
Those are just the ultra-British seasons. That's where they spill all their state secrets.
Right? The Queen is on that series, I think.
Yeah.
Is why. At least one of those.
They brought Churchill back.
I would pay so much money to see Zombie Churchill baking. Oh my god. That's a funny man, see. Politics aside. Good writer. Funny guy. Opinions on Churchill from a cultural podcast.
Obviously, there will be spoilers for the first 2 episodes of this season of Great British Bake Off in this episode. So why have you not already watched it if this is a problem for you?
Also, if you haven't watched it, turn off this podcast and go watch it. I mean, honestly, like, come to us after and share the joy of it with us. But you really need to prepare yourself. Like, don't come to class unprepared.
Right. The new season just began. We have seen 2 episodes. They're released on Fridays, I think. I'm really not trying to promote the show. I just want to love on it with you because I'm having so much fun watching it.
Well, it doesn't need our promotion. I mean, the idea that we could promote a cultural juggernaut is funnier than anything we've said so far.
Yeah.
2 weeks down, 8 to go, I think.
I'm enjoying it because I think it's such a delightful group of people.
Yeah.
The premise is the same.
Right.
All the drama of dropped cookies, biscuits, excuse me, and
ovens left off accidentally.
Exactly. All the drama is still there. What changes season to season is the group of people.
Yes.
And I love group dynamics and I love generalizing. So I like to read the personality of the group a little bit from season to season.
Okay.
And each group is different. There is a group that I call the Hot Mess. I'm not sure which collection it is. It's the one with Ruby. There's the groups that are just endearing. There's the groups that are more chaotic. There's the groups that are more precise and ordered. And this group is just a delight for some reason. It's a delightful mix of personalities, lots of characters. But the thing is that they don't do characters the way we do in America. Like, our characters suck. Like, on reality shows, our characters are like, I'm here to win. I'm not here to make friends. But, like, in Bake Off, they're always just delightful no matter what. And then these just have extra big personalities.
Yeah, I mean, they all seem to be there to have a good experience. Like, that's why they're there. Americans go on reality shows have different motivations, let's say.
Well, and I would imagine a lot of it comes from the production team, right? I think the production team wants you to have a good time.
They're casting. I mean, you know, they recognize it's well, as you mentioned earlier, people have been making jokes that, thank goodness Bake Off's back. My therapist can have a vacation now. It's supposed to be cuddly and warm, and baking, of course, is homely, and it makes you feel good, and has all of these positive associations. So yeah, if they invited cutthroat people into that tent, I would not enjoy watching it. I need it to relax me, not stress me out.
You and I each have our favorites this season. I want to say that I really do love them all, and this is the first time I've watched that I was like, please don't eliminate anyone.
Really?
A lot of times I'm a little judgy. I'm like, well, that person clearly sucks. And of course, I'm sure they're better bakers than me. They're on a nationally televised competition. But this is the time where I'm like, don't eliminate any of this. I want to just see them all bake together for 10 weeks.
I love that about you.
So my favorite is Jürgen.
Yeah.
Jürgen is German. He's from the Black Forest originally, lives in England with his kids and wife.
He plays in a trombone choir.
He is in a trombone choir. So I'm a little bit in conflict. Okay, he's a white man, so I don't have to maybe worry as much about this as I am, but I just find him very cute. And I feel like cute is not really cool to say, to admit that you find someone cute. Just adorable. He's quirky. I love his accent. I know that's super not cool either, but I do. I just can't help it. My favorite thing about him, the thing that won my heart, is that he was putting a cake in the oven and he said, good luck in there to the cake.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a German accent, you guys. But he has that very soft Bavarian German accent. The troubadours, the romancers of the Germanic people, Bavaria is it. And Jürgen has just a poet's heart. It comes out in his baking. Also, probably not cool of me to say, his eyebrows are wondrous.
Yeah. I tune in to see what his eyebrows are going to contribute to the bake each week.
Yeah.
Because you know they're telling him things. You know that they're guiding him.
Oh, yeah. Those are Muse eyebrows.
They're antennae, man. They're collecting vibrations from elsewhere, transmitting them into his mind.
They're like, just a little more flour, man.
You know that that's a completely factual statement because in the first episode, I think, he brought a showstopper up. I think it was the showstopper. And they're like, judge your own showstopper.
No, it was the signature bake.
Oh, the signature. Right. And he was like, well, it's this. I think it's great. It's not too sweet. And Paul's like, correct. That's exactly what I would have said. Good job.
And his final line was, I'd buy that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very sweet. He's adorable. Adorable is the right word. Like, even things that happen that have nothing to do with him, that are just like circumstances that he's involved in, are adorable. He called after the first time he won Star Baker and no one was home to answer the phone. So it was him where they like let people share with their family the fact that they won, and he was standing there with a ringing phone. And I was like, oh no. No one's home to take your call. No member of your trombone choir is available for you right now. Oh, Lord.
And then they picked that up in the second episode, and I got so worried that it was going to be a running joke because he won Star Baker again. And I was like, oh, no. And his family did answer. So I thought, oh, no, is this going to be the real drama of Bake Off?
Will Jürgen's family pick up? Yes.
He cannot reach his family.
Will he and his family break up? That's the drama of Bake Off this year.
Right. And you have a favorite.
I have a favorite. And so last series was the series that young Peter won. And I picked him as the winner in the second episode because I have friends at school and we all watch Bake Off and we talk about it every week. And I was like, I think this kid's got the goods. I think he's going to make it. He's my horse. You know, he's the one I'm betting on.
He's got star quality.
That's right. You got it, kid. You got it. Then he won. And so I, of course, feel like I am amazing because, it's very easy for me to find things that make me amazing.
Somehow his victory is your victory.
It reflects on me somehow. That's right. So now I'm in the first couple episodes, I'm like, okay, clearly that person isn't in it for the long haul. No, too disorganized, too whatever. The things they say in their interviews to me are sometimes more revealing than actually watching them bake.
Okay, do elaborate. I want to hear this.
Often, you'll watch someone and they appear to be, like me, middle of the road, decent enough, not going to get eliminated first. No bad luck cloud seems to follow them around, right? They're handling themselves.
Got it.
And then they'll say something in an interview like, I hate marzipan. And I'm like, oh, that's it. You're done.
You are very correct. When they state that they hate something, they're not going to make it all the way. Remember the guy a couple seasons ago that was like, I hate fruit pies, and he got eliminated on the fruit?
Yes. That guy was sketchy anyway, though. He wouldn't try the fruit pie, but then he also wouldn't help someone who asked for help. Like, he wouldn't make room for someone. And they were like, okay, I'll figure it out. And no ill intention coming back at him. But when he was interviewed later, he said, well, it's a competition, isn't it? And I was like, no. That's not how we do in Bake Off. And he was eliminated very shortly after. If they say, I don't like this particular bake because I just never cook with that ingredient, I'm sorry, you're going to have to do a lot of things you don't want to do. And if this is your attitude, like, you got to try and love it. That's the task.
You gotta love baking more than you hate a technique or you hate an ingredient.
That's it.
The baking's what's important here, people.
Mm-hmm. Which is why when there's an opportunity for an accountant or an engineer or a physicist or a astronaut or some deep science organization brain to get in there. The first person who was eliminated this year said, I don't like measuring things. And I was like, you're toast. Sorry, bud. This is not cooking. Yeah. Cooking is different than baking, right? I cook. I don't bake. Because you have to measure that shit out. It's chemistry when you bake. And so when I look for people who are in the sciences or in that more like organizational, they're willing to do that 8 to 10 hours a day for their job, then that's...
Absolutely. So your pick this year is...
Giuseppe.
Mm-hmm.
And partially because his hair is amazing. I'm picking him to win because I want him to be around so I can watch the hair and see what happens with the hair. But also, his hair is super curly and yet immaculately put together. And that is, I think, a key sign for a good baker because he has chaos with him at all times, but he manages to lock it down and make it look good. And also, he's an engineer. He has 3 sons. He hasn't told them that he's on Bake Off. And he has made sweets for them that they've said, this is really good. You should try and be on Bake Off. And he's like laughing behind his hand, you know? There was a video of him interacting with his kids and cooking something bread-like. And at the end of it, he's like teaching his kids how to bake. And at the end of it, one of the kids was like pulling at the dough or something. He's like, no, that's dinner. That's dinner, sweetheart. And I was like, that's great. This is not, it's for show, but it's also real. And I very much like that about him. He's like, this is not just a scene. Like, we're going to eat that later.
Yeah.
Also, he's very relaxed and confident, and he's happy. And all of those things are things that I want to keep watching. So he's my pick.
I want to just do a couple of honorable mentions for great personalities. Chigs's facial expressions are outstanding. There's a whole other story happening there.
My sense of him is that he's afraid of something, but only his face muscles know what it is. And so he's trying to interact like a normal person, and his face is reacting to some other thing that's happening.
I want to also give an honorable mention to Lizzie from Liverpool.
Oh my God.
Who is quite chaotic.
She's a hot mess, Claire. Let's be frank.
She is a hot mess, but she's also very charming. I am continually delighted by Freya.
Oh, she's great. I like her very much.
Who is a vegan and is doing some really cool bakes. And she's just 19. She's the youngest contestant this year. I love her accent.
Yeah.
It took me till the second episode when I saw her riding a horse that I was like, oh, it's a posh accent she has. I think she's actually a rich girl.
I think she has money, and you know, this is the limitation of my understanding of the economic implications of British accents, right? Of course, we're going to come up against that line. But she's from North Yorkshire, and Yorkshire's not a posh accent.
Oh, okay.
So it's a working class accent she has. It's just her parents happen to have money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand what the accents signify about their potential for, like, you know, raising their economic status.
Right.
But it's fun to listen to them. Let's just put it that way.
I enjoy Freya's accent a lot.
I like Freya's very much.
Everything she says to me is hilarious.
Well,
especially the word cappuccino. Which I'm not going to say it. You know, I don't want to make fun of anyone's act, but I do genuinely appreciate it, and it really does bring me joy. I don't mean it in a shitty way.
Yeah. Well, there's also this attitude, like, she's a very competent baker. She knows what she's doing. She has a level of comfort, and because of that, she can be amusing because she's not freaking out. She's like, oh yeah, it was a bit of a faff, I think is what she says.
Yeah.
And everyone's like laughing because, yeah, you've made this delicious. She's like, oh yeah, it was a fucking ridiculous amount of work, but
she's got a really good dry sense of humor.
I'm very hopeful for this season. I think you're right. Like, the general vibe is, it's a little, like, they're flapping around a little bit. Everyone's a little off, you know? And maybe it's just a weird year, or maybe I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of chaos under the surface, let's say.
And there's also a lot of competence, too.
Yes.
Which I love.
Yes, and the combination of chaos and competence is delightful to watch.
Perfectly balanced in this season.
Yeah, okay, so if you haven't checked out this indie show called Great British Bake Off, please go do that. Please download our episodes. That helps. Like and subscribe, etc. Also check out our Patreon /ItChoosesYou. If you really like us, we hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Yay, bye.
Bye. Testing. Great. Thank you for listening to It Chooses You. Your hosts are Teresa Sparks and Claire Patton. Our theme song is by Bobby Dart. If you'd like to get in touch with us, drop us an email at itchoosesyouPodcast@gmail.com.